Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And this series is one that you all have been requesting that comes back. Yelena and I have been like super busy with life, so that's why we've taken a bit of a pause. But we are back and with another Game Week 7 team selection video. So we're going to go through our transfers, what we're thinking, and the transfers that we think that you guys should make. So that's what's in store for this video. We hope that you enjoy it. Yelena, we're back. I'm so excited to be back. I've missed this so much. I've missed you so much. How's it going?
I know, I've missed you too, and it's been such a shame not to record, but we've had so much to juggle over the last couple of weeks, haven't we? So it's been really hard to find the time. But we have timed it perfectly because we're actually doing okay now. I think we've been messaging over the last couple of weeks. Our ranks have not been very good, but we've timed it for when we've got a green arrow and we've got some positive things to discuss.
Well, I think like game week 5 was one of my worst like ever in the history of me playing this game. Like, I don't know what my game week rank was, but it was like one of the worst that I think you could possibly have. But let's get into game week 6. So, well, share what we did for game week 6, and then we'll get into game week 7. So I'm just going to try to figure out how to share my screen. I'm a little bit rusty on this. It's been a hot sec since we've done this, so hopefully you can see my screen. You should be able to see my game week 6.
This is so fun because I haven't seen your team in weeks. I didn't realize you've got Son, you've got Foden. So much has changed.
We're having so I did okay, like not as good as I would have liked because I didn't have that Newcastle defense, but and I still had Chilwell, and he did absolutely freaking nothing for me. I was holding out hope. In game week 6, I actually had rolled a transfer, and I was between bringing in Botman, and then I didn't. That was like a bit unfortunate. But overall, I feel that I did pretty okay, slightly above the average. I did get a green arrow, wasn't as massive as I was hoping for, but Vardial in there with a clean sheet, Estupinian as well. And then my midfield, I didn't have like across the board like some teams, but Saka, Son, and Foden really like came in clutch for me. There are a couple of issues in this team, but overall, I was fairly happy with the performance. Yelena, what about you? This is your team. You did phenomenal this week.
I was so relieved. I've held on to Watkins for this long. Watkins has been a difficult one because he's constantly gotten assists but no goals, and this was the first goal of the season, so I was really happy that I was patient with that. Eze is the thorn in my side. I am looking to transfer him out this game week. Really pleased with Maddison. Obviously brought in Botman. I did Henry to Botman, which was the easiest transfer of my life because Henry was out injured anyway, probably going to not come back for the rest of the season. So this was a very rare time when a transfer I was forced to do actually paid off massively. It's a bit annoying because I was thinking about bringing in Trippier, but I just couldn't fund it. And I was thinking about using both my transfers, taking out Chilwell, bringing in Trippier. So kind of kicking myself for not doing that. But I think at least I did get the returns from Botman. And I got some criticism as well for being very confident with benching Chilwell. But I found it quite hard recently having Chelsea players in the team. But Chilwell's got a really good talent now of coming in for a couple of minutes and getting a yellow card. So there's absolutely nothing from him. But I don't know whether I'm a bit deluded with it, but I do feel like he's got some attacking returns in him at some point. So I'm a bit reluctant to take him out. But hopefully something good will happen with him and Chelsea on the whole.
I know the problem with Chua is like I never saw him getting benched because I thought for sure like he's Chelsea's vice captain, he's going to be an automatic starter in the side, especially at a left back position. And I don't quite understand the strategy for playing 3 center backs and having Thiago Silva, Sassy, and Colwell as the left back, and then maybe you play Chua as a left winger, and then if not, you bench Chua and then play Mudryk as the left winger. Like I would think that at least Chua should be the left back. So that's been something surprising to me. And I think that just overall, that's something that's been a bit difficult. But maybe let's go through some sell options for this week. So I know Chilwell is definitely up there, and
Yeah.
I know that you're a little bit torn. For me, like, I want him out of my team because I just don't know if he's going to start. And for me, that's like a really big flag. Like, he hasn't been starting. We don't know. Now he's injured as well. Don't know when he's going to be coming back. So what do you think? Do you agree with that? And do you have any other like sell options in your team?
No, I think Chilwell probably is quite a big one. The problem is there are so many good defenders at the moment that are getting attacking returns and for cheaper than what Chilwell is. I mean, look at the Newcastle defence. I think it was Botman, Burn and Trippier all got goals in the previous game week. Yes, it was an easy fixture, but even so, the fact that they're getting that far forward. Whereas with Chelsea, we've got no players at the moment that seem to be able to score. And I was really surprised by the benching because when he was benched, was it the Bournemouth game he was benched for?
I think so, yeah.
Came on for a 10-minute cameo. And then I just assumed because the game had gone so badly that he would be an immediate starter for the next game week. And then that didn't happen. And because I'd been advising people, I was like, he was benched last week. He's guaranteed to play this week. Obviously, he came on for like 20 to 30 minutes, barely anything. So I think Chilwell is definitely one. If there is a risk that he's going to be benched, which is very high, I don't think you can stick with him. But the issue is there's a lot of different injuries going on at the moment. So one of my priority transfers is Eze, but the fact that Saka might be out this game week, Maddison went off with a knock, but I think there's quite a high likelihood that he'll play. Botman's injured. There just seem to be injuries everywhere. So I think there are quite a few other priorities that need to be sold, which is annoying because you want to tweak the team to get it as perfect as you can get. But what about you? Are you thinking of prioritizing anyone?
Yeah, so going into this game, I was like, Rashford, I've had enough of you. Like, I'm just done. Like, Man United haven't been playing so well. They're not looking super confident, even though they have positive fixtures coming up, even though his underlying stats are looking positive. I'm just like, for that much money, I feel like I can sell him and get somebody like cheaper in my team that's also performing, and then that would give me a route to Trippier as well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sell Rashford, absolutely. And then now the news of Saka being injured has come up, and we were talking before the show, and you said it's been reported that he hasn't trained, so it's looking like he's going to miss the game. And I'm not aware of the extent of the injury or how long he's expected to be out either. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe he could be one that I need to transfer out. If you're in the same situation as me, Nico Jackson just got a red. Well, he got accumulation of yellow, so he's missing. So I have that issue to deal with as well. But I'll kind of talk through that in my team selection. But there's a lot of things, like you said. But what about some buy options, some players that you have your eye on that you want to bring into your team?
This is a very good question. Who do I want to bring in? My mind's gone absolutely blank. I'm trying to think of who my Eze replace. Oh, so one of the transfers, if Saka is out, I think I'm going to comfortably probably go for Son, who you already have on your team, and I'm really jealous. I'm quite apprehensive this season because there are so many good assets from various teams. Doubling up on teams, I'm a bit nervous about, but I feel like Son and Maddison are giving like Son and Kane vibes back in the day. And I really want to have both of them on my team. So I think I'm really tempted to bring in Son. And then I'm also eyeing up Ward-Prowse. I could do Eze to Ward-Prowse. The fixtures look good. He's doing great this season. I can't remember his stats exactly. Maybe 2 goals, 3 assists, something around those, but way more than Eze. So I think it'll be a big upgrade. And he's also one of those players that if they have a difficult fixture, I don't think I'd be too worried about benching. Whereas at the moment, I've got a bit of an issue with my team is I want to play everyone. Whereas obviously I can't. And then you end up having bench points and things. So they're the two that I've kind of got on my radar. What about you?
Yeah, I have Maddison on my radar because I don't have Maddison in my team, and I'm kind of in the same situation. Like, okay, do I double up on Spurs midfield? But they're looking really strong, and both of those players seem to be getting attacking returns pretty consistently. I also have Bowen on my radar.
Nice.
Radar for a couple of weeks, and the fixtures for West Ham haven't been good. But he did. So currently he has 4 goals and 1 assist in 6 game weeks. So he's just on fire. And he did get a goal versus Liverpool as well, even though that West Ham lost. So I don't know if they're necessarily, or if he's necessarily fixture proof, but I had held off because I was thinking, oh, Liverpool is a difficult fixture. And then he did return. So he's somebody that I definitely have my eye on. And also Aston Villa assets as well. So I'm looking at Diaby, maybe Ollie Watkins, how I can bring them into my team. Those are, I think, the main three, as well as Newcastle defense, which I don't currently own. And I'm really trying to find an avenue in. I was pretty sold on trying to bring Botman in because I thought it was a cheaper option into that Newcastle defense. Now that he's marked as injured, I'm a little bit hesitant. I don't know, again, like how long he's going to be out for, if it's just a week thing. But those are the players that I have on my buy list.
It's interesting you said about Villa as well, because at the moment I've got Cash and I've got Watkins, but I really want Diaby, and I feel like tripling up is too much. Then I don't know whether to do a kind of take out Watkins for someone, bring in Diaby in the midfield. But then now that Watkins has actually scored a goal, I don't know whether this is going to be the start of a run for him. It's really hard when a team has so many good assets.
Yeah, it's so hard. And in that striker position as well, like I'm just like so unsure because I have Foden, so I have Holland, so I don't have Alvarez. But he's like the one striker aside from Watkins that really stands out to me. I haven't seen any others that I'm like super gravitated towards. And I feel like I have a lot more defenders and midfielders that I want on my team. So to find a replacement for Watkins as well, unless you just completely downgrade and then like can invest the money elsewhere. But that brings us to our little game, which is, so you need a replacement. You're killing it, Yelena. Like I have something to do. This is embarrassing.
I think there's a lot of luck in this one.
Yeah, so I've kind of already touched on mine. I'm basically done with Rashford. I think that Bowen is a really good replacement, 4 goals, 1 assist as well. He is slightly outperforming his expected goals, but I think that he's just looking phenomenal. So I'm hoping that I get one with this one. And you went for a quite obvious one as well. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, so I've gone for Chilwell to Trippier. Last season I was raving about Trippier. I put him in my team and I never took him out. He was absolutely incredible. He was, even if Newcastle didn't get a clean sheet, he was getting attacking returns. And I kind of thought that that's what Chilwell was going to be like this season, because pre-season he was looking amazing. But obviously we've gone downhill since then. So Chilwell out, bring in Trippier. I think that's a sensible move.
Yeah, totally. I'm trying to find a way to fit Trips into my team. And now we have my friend Mira talking about her pick for this game week.
My transfer pick this week is going to be Saka to Diaby. Villa have been looking really good going forward this season and have scored 12 goals so far, with Diaby contributing 2 goals and 2 assists. At 6.7 million and only 11% owned, he's an absolute bargain going into Villa's next run of fixtures, with Brighton coming up next at home. Diaby has also been playing out of position as a second striker alongside Watkins and is often at the end of sequences of play. I reckon he's got some returns coming his way this week.
Thanks, Mira. I really hope that I can find a way to get Diaby into my team because he's also one that I'm on the lookout for. And I always trust Mira's advice because she finished within like the top UK last season. She's phenomenal. I always text her for all of like my game week tips, and she was the one who told me to hold on to Son, and I did.
Wise.
So it was very wise. So
can I say also, her YouTube channel is so good. She does live spaces, and it's the only thing that I can listen to where it's one person talking about FPL that I zone in on. I actually listen to every single word she says. She's so engaging, and she started putting them onto YouTube as well, and the graphics are really impressive. She's only just started and she's outdone me. I've been going for over a year. So just a shout out to Mira's channel because it's really, really good.
Absolutely. I'm going to tag it so that you guys can find it and find her on Twitter as well, because she's a great friend and gives fantastic FPL advice as well. Like I said, she's literally her and Yelena are my go-to people for FPL advice. So yeah, this is my team. I need help.
The flags.
The flags are too much to handle. I don't have any money in the bank, so like
good.
Off to a great start, but I do have 2 free transfers. So initially, before all of the flags, I was set, and I almost did this because I was like, I want to beat the price drops. I almost did this, and I held off. Chilwell to Trippier and Rashford to Bowen. And that I was like fairly set on. And now Saka, we don't know. Jackson is suspended. It's only, I think, a 1-match suspension, but he did get a goal in the Carabao Cup. It did look that, obviously that's positive. He really impressed me in that match as well, because I felt that he was like fighting for Chelsea. He showed like a really good mentality, and he has been getting into good positions. He's had a lot of big chances missed. So it's not that he's been playing poorly, just hasn't been putting those games away. But I also look at Chelsea's fixtures, and game week 8, Chelsea played Burnley. We historically struggle against Burnley. Chelsea struggle against teams that are going to play a low block. And then they have this terrible run of fixtures: Arsenal at home, Brentford at home, Spurs away, City at home, Newcastle away. So I don't want to be holding on to him. He's a transfer that I need to make out. I don't necessarily know who to transfer in that position. And then, like I said, I also have like all these midfielders that I want, like Diaby, Madison, Bowen, and I want to get a Newcastle defender in there as well. So I don't know what to do. What do you think?
It's tough. So we obviously were talking over WhatsApp last week. You were considering using your wild card. Do you know roughly when you might use it?
So I was planning on tentatively using it for game week 10, but now I don't know how necessary it might be, because I feel like I actually have a pretty close team, bar like a few players for the team that I would have wild card into. So yeah, I haven't quite decided. And then I saw on social media as well that people were saying maybe game week 19 could be, City might have a double. So I kind of feel like if I don't have a super need to use it, maybe I can just hold on.
Definitely, because I was thinking about whether you're making long-term picks now or kind of short-term, because we've got Morris with a double game week, which could be a fun Jackson replacement. I was fully on the Morris train until Luton played earlier this week, and then I was like, nope, I'm not going there. I think I would prioritise Chilwell to a Newcastle defender. And to be honest, my top picks would be Botman or Trippier. But obviously Trippier does take more money out. But then the fact that your midfield is so strong, having Rashford, Foden, Son and Saka, I think you've beaten the price rises on that one. And if you do end up doing Saka out, and we don't know the extent of his injury, maybe that's the way that you can then upgrade Chilwell, go to Trippier, and then just bring in Diaby maybe as the Saka replacement.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, because I can't afford Trippier without transferring out one of the higher priced midfielders.
Yeah.
And if not, I would just do one transfer and do Chilwell to Botman, but I'm just not sure if he's going to be fit. And so I don't know if I can risk it.
And yeah, there's no point doing 2 flagged players.
Exactly. And then I already have to take Jackson out of my team, so I think I'm going to play Udagi versus Spurs, which isn't ideal, but at least it's like somebody that is going to start. Maybe there's a possibility of getting something in there, even though I'm not counting on it too much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my head is at. So I really wanted to take Rashford out. I think I might be forced to take Saka out, at least even for the short term, until I can find a way to maybe I like eventually do Rashford and out and bring Saka back into my team. But that's kind of where my mind is at right now. So thanks for the advice. I
think also with United, they're not scoring a ton of goals this season, but at least Rashford has been involved in the goals that they are scoring. So I think, because I'm keeping hold of Rashford for another week, and it's really frustrating watching him play. But I mean, Palace at the moment, they're not looking particularly strong. And hopefully United will get a goal or two, and it comes from Rashford, not Fernandes. So I don't think it's the worst. It's really, for his price point and considering the expectations we all had for him, hugely disappointing to have him on your team and not have him getting hauls like every single week. But I do definitely think it's worth holding on to him. Deal with Saka, deal with Chilwell, and your team will be in a much stronger position. And at least with Rashford next game week, that is so much money that you have to play around with, and you'll have more data to go by.
Yeah, so true. So now it's just like, who do I transfer Saka out for? Like Bowen, Diaby, or Madison? Which is like the next boy. I don't know.
Long term, I think Madison, because of Spurs' fixtures. For this game week, there's something telling me Bowen.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think you should go Bowen.
Okay. That's what I was thinking of for a week now, so that's what I'm probably going to do.
Yeah.
I need to listen to my heart more. Like, take us through your team though. You're looking in, I feel like, much better shape than I am. I think
I sent this to you though before the flags. So we've got Botman out. I mean, this is not my preferred formation. Obviously, I'd rather not go big on the defense. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with my transfers, because like I touched on, I wanted to get rid of Eze, but actually I think Saka might have to be the priority for this game week, and then I'll just have to bench Eze. And then Botman being out, a Newcastle fixture against a Newcastle home fixture against Burnley. To have Botman not fit for that would be so frustrating, because they're coming off the back of an 8-0 win. They're going into Burnley at home. I can see it being another high scorer. So I don't know whether to do a bit of a knee jerk and just maybe use my 2 free transfers to try and bring in Trippier as well. But then I could transfer out Chilwell, bring in Trippier, downgrade elsewhere. But I don't know. I've got the benching headache. It's really tough.
Yeah, you do. I do quite like, in my wildcard draft, I did actually have double Newcastle defense.
Yeah.
I do quite like that. And I'm just taking a look at their fixtures now, and they have really positive fixtures, honestly. Like from game week 7, they have Burnley at home, then West Ham away, Palace at home, Wolves away, then Arsenal at home, Bournemouth away, and then Chelsea at home. Chelsea at home is rated as a white fixture. It's not even rated as anymore.
The shame.
Shame.
This is the thing though, because with Newcastle, that game week 1 to 5, they had some really, really tough fixtures, but their defense was still rated as one of the best in the league. So now that they are going into this nice run, I can see clean sheets. And then again, with the way that the defenders are going, we could maybe get some goals and assists as well. So it's a really tough one, because the minute the clean sheet goes, that's 2 of the defenders out. But if they do get a clean sheet, you're absolutely laughing. And with Onana in goal, I haven't really got much hope of clean sheet points anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a difficult one. So trying to think, well, realistically, you could, okay, I see what you're saying. I was going to say you could just do like Saka out, and then you could play like a 3-4-3, or you could do Saka and Eze, for example. Yeah. And then bench Botman for the week, and then kind of see how he gets on.
No, that is an option. Yeah, I'm thinking of other Newcastle assets as well. I really like the look of Gordon, but he is on 4 yellow cards at the moment. And we saw what happened to Jackson. Yeah. I'm nervous of that happening. Bring him in and then he's suspended. Yeah. It's annoying, because most game weeks I have a bit of an inkling of what to do. And I think my original plan was just Eze to Ward-Prowse. But now I'm not feeling as confident, because if the players that are flagged don't play, my team is completely stuck. And I'm also trying to play it safe. So I've got 2 free transfers. Ideally, I'd only use one and roll the other and keep, because it is for game weeks like this, where suddenly you've got all these injuries on the horizon, and then you need to have that flexibility to be able to make moves, maybe early, but at least then you can do them without taking a hit. So it's really hard.
Yeah, totally. It's really hard. I would just wait, see if any team news comes out, because I don't know. I know that Saka didn't train. I don't know why. Like, I feel like if I transfer him out, I'm going to get bitten in the bum with it.
Yeah. And the thing is, because I was quite looking forward to doing Saka to Son, but I prefer the Bournemouth fixture over the Liverpool fixture. And I think, well, then Son can wait another week. I really like Saka. I think he's the highest scoring midfielder so far this season. So it would be a real shame to take him out, and then he turns out to be fine. Then I just have to bring him straight back in anyway.
Totally. So I would I don't know. I would probably prioritize Eze out.
Yeah.
Even I don't know if he's necessarily going to get something versus Man United. And then I don't know, like maybe you could always play Gibbs White as well.
I did think this because it's a home fixture. I definitely see Forest scoring, but it's Gibbs White. I've been watching him recently. He just gets really unlucky. He's such a decent player, but it's not coming to fruition. So there was a game week. He did get 2 assists. I think it was against Manchester United, and I benched him, which was really annoying.
I remember.
Yeah.
So I feel like you do have options at least. Like my bench is totally unviable. At least you have options there to play around with. So I feel like you're in a better position than I am going into this game week.
I don't know though. I feel like you're already ahead. You've got Son, you've got Foden. It's such a. I don't know. I just didn't realize your midfield was that strong.
Oh, thanks. It always looks strong on paper, and then I get like 20 points. So
don't you look at your team just before the deadline? You're like, this is perfect, and then it gets to Sunday, and you're like, why did I pick these players?
Yeah, I'm like, damn it.
Of course, I should have got triple Everton.
Well, guys, that's all that we have planned. Hopefully, us talking through our transfer plans and kind of dilemmas has resonated with you guys. I think a lot of people are in the same situation. But if you have any questions about your game week team, make sure to drop it in the comment box down below. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Yelena, let everybody know where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter and YouTube at Yelena FPL.
Perfect. So guys, make sure to follow Yelena, sub to the channel. We'll be back with our usual programming now going forward, except for the international break, unless there's something that you guys want to see from FPL for the international break for some reason. But hope that you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, we're out. Bye.
Bye.